Let's start our revision here for our quiz. The first one here, find or evaluate the integration of 6 cubic root of x squared. Here, it is integration of 6 and x, our cubic root of x squared. It can be written as x to the power 2 over 3. So I rewrite it as x to the power 2 over 3. Then keep x outside. The integration of x to the power 2 over 3 is x to the power 2 over 3 plus 1 over 2 over 3 plus 1. This plus 1 here, I can rewrite it as 3 over 3. So I have 6 integration of x to the power 5 over 3 over 5 over 3. Then this 5 over 3, it will be written as 3 over 5. It's reciprocal times x times 6, times x, and 5 over 3, it is the cubic root of x to the power 5. Then it is 18 over 5 cubic root of x to the power 5 plus 3. Here, if we have to integrate. Now look at this one here. In this one here, we have x to the power 2 over 3. And this one is multiplied by 2x to the power negative 3 plus 2x to the power 4 plus 2x. In this type of questions here, you have to distribute the x to the power 2 over 3 into the 3 terms. So it is x to the power 2 over 3 times 2x to the power negative 3 plus x to the power 2 over 3 times 2x to the power 4 plus x to the power 2 over 3 plus 2 times 2x. I want now to integrate it with respect to x. Now then here, we have the same base, so we have to add the exponents. 2 over 3 plus negative 3. So it is 2 over 3 plus negative 3 over 1. So times 3, because I must have them the same denominator, times 3. So it is 2 minus 9 over 3. So which is negative 7 over 3. So when you added them here, you will have 2 to the power negative 7 over 3. 2x to the power negative 7 over 3 plus 2 to the power 3 times x to the power 4. This is 4. It can be written as 12 over 3. Then by adding, it will be 14 over 3. So 2x to the power 14 over 3. Then plus 2x to the power 2 over 3 times 2x. So x to the power 2 over 3 plus x to the power 1, which is 3 over 3. So I have it as x to the power 5 over 3. So since, after I multiply them now, I start to integrate. Let's put 2 outside. So we have x to the power negative 7 over 3 plus 1 or plus 3 over 3 over over the new exponents, which is negative 4 over 3 after adding them, times 2x. 14 over 3 is 14 plus 3 over 3. You know why, is it right? 14
Can you repeat again,
over
teacher?
3. 14 over 3 plus 1, it is 3 over 3. Then when you add them, I put them as 14 plus 3 over 3. Over. And here we have 14 plus 3 plus 1. Miss, it is like, okay. It is 14 over 3 plus 1. Okay, over 14 over 3 plus 1. And this 14 over 3 plus 1, I rewrite it as 3 over 3. And 14 over 3 down plus 3 over 3. Why? Because they are 14 over 3 plus 1. This one, I can rewrite it as 3 over 3. Why? Because I want to make them the same denominator. Plus 2x to the power 5 over 3, which is 5 over 3 plus 1 over 5 over 3 plus 1. Then you will simplify them. Here we have negative 3 times 2, negative 6 over 4, x to the power negative 4 over 3, plus 17 over 3, so it will be 6 over 17 over 3. It will be 3 over 17. It will be 6 over 17 x to the power 17 over 3 plus 6 over 5 x to the power. Oh, no, sorry, wait. It is 8, so it is 6 over 15 x to the power 8 over 3 plus. Do you have any question?
Teacher, it's
No, teacher.
17 over. Can you repeat the last step?
Which one?
The 2x negative 4 over 3 over negative 4. Yani from where we get negative 6 over 4?
Here, negative 4 over 3, its reciprocal is negative 3 over 4. Okay, times 2. And here it is 1 over negative 4 over 3. So its reciprocal is negative 3 over 4. Times 2, you will get negative 6 over 4. And then x to the power negative 4 over 3. Here, you have to do the same. It is 2. You have 2 over 17 over 3, which is 2 times 3 over 17, or 6 over 17. And the last part here, I did the same.
Teacher, why 15, not 8?
Where here?
In the last one, 6
Here?
over 15, isn't it 6 over 8?
It's 6 over 8 times 2, 6 over 8, so it will be 8 over 6 times 2. Here it was 8. No,
It's 2 times 3 over 8.
Wait, it's 8 over 3. Hello, 1
It's
over 8 over 3. So it will be 3 over 8 times 2. It will be 6 over 8. Oh. Thank you. Do you have any question?
No, teacher.
No, teacher.
Let's solve now B here. Equation of secant square x minus cosecant x cotan x dx. Here I will distribute the integral sign into the first term and the second term. Now, what is the integration of secant?
10.
Ten.
Secant square is 10.
Tan x, bravo. And what is the integration of cosecant cotan?
Cosecant.
Cosecant, bravo. Plus C. Because it's negative. Now here. Suppose that g of x is a function for which integration from -2 to 1, g of x is 5, and from 1 to 2 is -2. Use this information to evaluate the definite integrals. The first one, the integration from 1 to 2, 5 g of x dx. Here we have to put 5 outside, and then the integration of gx from 1 to 2. Is it here? From 1 to 2? Yes,
Yes, teacher, it is -2.
it's -2. So I say 5 times -2, which is -10. Now, let's solve B. The integration of g of x from -2 to 2. Did I have it here?
No, teacher.
No. So what do we have to do?
Add
Yes.
them together.
Here we have negative, and you can write it as from -2 to 1 plus 1 to 2. Because -2 to 2, I can write it as from -2 to 1 and from 1 to 2. From -2 to 1, it is 5. And from 1 to 2, it's -2. So the answer here is 3. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Now. Integration from 1 to 1 of g of x squared. It is what?
It is from negative, the integration from -2 to 1 plus the integration from 1 to 2.
No,
It's
this is
zero.
from 1 to 1. It is 0. Thank you.
Zero.
Thank you, Lujan.
Zero.
It is 0. If you integrate from a to a for any function, it will be 0. Because why? Because when you find it's and as an example, if I'm asking you like this, integration of 3x from 1 to 1. What do you have to say? Or let's make it as 2x to make it easier. You have to say it is x squared from 1 to 1. So x squared is 1 minus 1, it will be 0. If you evaluate the interval here, x squared, 1 squared minus 1 squared, you will get 0. So the integration from a to a for any function is 0. Now let's solve D. For D here, we have the integration from 2 to -2 for 4 g of x dx. So here, for g of x dx from 2 to -2. Yalla, what I have to do here? From
The integration from -1 to 2.
here, the first one, in the B, we said from -2 to 1, then from 1 to 2. Here, I don't want from -2 to 2. I want to from 2 to -2. From 2 to -2. So what I have to do?
From 1 to 2 plus from
هلا.
-1 to 2.
2 to -2. I can write it as from 2 to 1 plus from 1 to -2. From 2 to 1 and from 1 to -2. Then, and here you have, they are multiplied by 4. Now, from 2 to 1, where is it? Here I have from 1 to 2. From 2 to 1. If integration from 1 to 2 is -2. So from 2 to 1,
2.
it will be +2. Bravo. It will be the opposite of this integration. So it's +2. Plus integration from 1 to -2.
-5.
It will be -5 because from -2 to 1 is 5. So from 1 to -2, it will be -5. So now then, times 4. So it is 4 times -3, which is -12. Do you have any question?
No, teacher.
No, teacher.
No. Here we have a definite integration, but with an absolute value. If you see any absolute value, or if I told you find the total area, you have to put the function between the absolute value. Before we integrate here, we have x² minus 1. So let's solve it, or let's find the 0 of them, which is x² minus 1. I'm sorry. So x² equals 1. So under the square root, so what is the values of x? Or what are the values of x?
1 and -1.
1 and -1. So I wrote now the zeros here as -1 and 1. Then my interval is from 0 to 3. So I don't look here. This interval, it doesn't matter for me. I only need it from 0 to 3. Now this from 0 to 3, this function, it could be positive and it could be negative. Now I want to see where is it positive and where is it negative. Let's try.
It's -3.
It is from -3 to 0.
Sorry. Here I have -3, so I don't look here. Okay. It's from -3 to 0. So I want to check now from the interval -3 to -1 if the function is positive or negative, and from -1 to 0 if the function is positive or negative. Let's try here between -3 and -1. Take any number as an example, -2. Evaluate it here in the function. -2 squared minus 1, it is 4 minus 1 is +3. So the function here is positive. So I keep x² plus 1 as positive. Then let's try now a new number here between -1 and 0. As an example, let's take -12. Evaluate it now. -12 squared minus 1. -12 squared, it is 1/4. Minus 1, It's negative 3 over 4. So it is negative. So between negative 1, between, let's a minute, please here. Yes, between negative 1 and 0, it will be negative x squared plus 1. Dx. Before I continue, do you have any question?
No, teacher.
Dadas, Miss Dana, Lulu, Sadan, Rana, Nihat, Shahid Yasser, Shahid Hisham, Shahid Abdullah, Sima. Any question? Is it clear?
No, teacher. No, miss.
No.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Sima. What's your question?
No questions, I understand.
Teacher,
Yes, Darin.
why did you make it from -3 to -1?
Mش we solved the zeros of the function here as 1 and negative 1?
Okay.
Okay, so you put the zeros here as negative 1 and 1. The zeros of my expression here, of my equation. Now from negative 3 to 0, so this is my interval. So at negative 1,
The -1 is included.
okay, at negative 1, I have to stop here. There's a gap. There's a disconnecting point. So I will say from negative 3 to negative 1 and from negative 1 to 0. I didn't continue because my interval is only between negative 3 and 0.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Now let's continue here. We have x squared minus 1. Let's integrate it as x cubic over 3 minus x from negative 3 to negative 1 plus this minus sign is multiplied with x squared plus 1. So let's change the sign. It will be negative x squared minus 1. So negative x cubic over 3 minus x.
No, plus 1, teacher.
No, miss.
Because the equation was
was
x
plus
squared.
Okay, no. I understand. Okay, so up to 0. Then you have to integrate. It is negative 3 cubic over 3 minus negative 3. This is for f of negative 3 minus f of negative 1, which is negative 1 cubic over 3 minus negative 1. Then plus, here you have to find f of negative 1, which is negative 1 cubic over 3 plus negative 1 minus f of 0, which is 0. They are, I think they are cancelled each other or no? Negative. Then you have to continue. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Now let's solve this one here. The integration of f of x from 1 to 4, where f of x is negative x plus 4 if x is less than 2, and 1 minus 2x cubic if x is greater or equal to 2. So here my interval or my function asked me to find the integration from 1 to 4. But at this point, which is point 2, the function will change from 1 to 2. Since x is less than 2, so from 1 to 2, I have to put negative x plus 4. And from 2 to 4, I have to use 1 minus 2 x cubic. So the integration from 1 to 4 for f of x, it will be from 1 to 2, plus from 2 to 4. Then from 1 to 2, it is negative x plus 4. And from 2 to 4, it is 1 minus 2x cubic. So let's now integrate. It is negative x squared over 2 plus 4x from 1 to 2 plus x minus x cubic.
Teacher, plus 4 only, there is no x.
Sorry, miss? No, miss, this integration.
Okay.
4 is 4x from 2 to 4. Then we evaluate as 2 or negative 2 squared over 2 plus 4 times 2 minus negative 1 squared over 2 plus 4 times 1 plus 4 minus 4 cubic minus 2 minus 2 cubic. Then you will continue. Is it clear?
Teacher,
Let's ahead.
why it's x alone in
Right.
the integration of 2x to the power 3? Why it's x to the power 3?
Here,
Yeah.
it is 2x to the power 4 over صح. Oh, it is half x to the power 4. So here we have, wait a minute. Half 4 to the power 4 minus half 2 to the power 4. Do you have any question?
No, teacher.
No,
No.
teacher.
Now, here. So we have this one. Let's solve this one first. If you have any time, we will come back to this one. Integration of 2x square root of x from 4 to 9. Here we have 2x and the square root of x. I write it as x to the power half from 4 to 9. So then 2x times x to the power half, I have to add the exponents as x to the power 3 over 2. Then let's integrate. Now, x to the power 3 over 2, you will add it. Add 1 to it over the new exponents, which is 3 over 2 plus 1. Then, 2 and x to the power, this is can be written as 3 over 3.
It is 2 over 2, teacher, not 3 over 3.
And here 2 over 2. So it is 5 over 2 over 5 over 2. Then, now after integration, I will remove this. So it is 2x, our square root of x to the power 5 times 5 over 2. Its reciprocal is 2 over 5. So it will be 4 over 5 from 4 to 9. 4 over 5. the square root of 9 to the power 5 minus square root of 4 to the power 5. So square root of 9 to the power 5 is 243 minus square root of 4 to the power 5 is 211. So the final answer is 211. So 4 over 5 times 211 it will be 844 over 5.
Teacher,
Yes.
can you please again explain from where did we bring 4 over 5?
Okay. هلا look at here. Here we have 2 over 5 over 2. 2 so I have 2 over 5 over 2. So that's mean it is 2 times. What is the reciprocal of 5 over 2?
2 over 5.
Look me at here. Every time when you want to divide a whole number, this one it can be written as divide a whole number by a fraction. Look at here now, 2 over 5 over 2. Can you write it like this? 2 divided by 5 over 2?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you divide a whole number by a fraction, what you have to do? The first step, keep the first number as it is. Then change the division to be as multiplication and write the reciprocal of the fraction. What is the reciprocal here?
2 over 5.
2 over 5. Then you multiply them, you get 4 over 5. You know from where I bring it now?
Yes, teacher.
Well, now look me at here. If you have 3 over 2, divide by 9 over 5 as an example. For this type of here, you have a fraction divide by a fraction. So it is like 3 over 2 divide by 9 over 5. The first step, if you divide anything into a fraction, you have to keep the first fraction as it is, change the decimal and write the reciprocal. Keep the first fraction as 3 over 2. Change the sign of negative to be as multiply and write the reciprocal of 9 over 5, which is 5 over 9. Then if you can simplify, do it. Then you have this as 5 over 6. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher. Thank you.
Yeah. Here I have this one, but there's the period is finished. This A is very easy. This I will solve its integration. It is x cubic minus x squared from 0 to 2. 3x squared, like 3x cubic over 3. So it's x cubic minus x squared. So it is 2 cubic minus 2 squared minus 0. 2 cubic is 8, 2 squared is 4. So the final answer here is 4.
Teacher, where did the 2 go?
This one here, I solved it quickly. It is 2x to the power 1 over 1 plus 1 over 1. So it is 2x squared over 2. That's why I write it as x squared. And 3x squared, its integration is 3x cubic over 3, which is x cubic.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Thank you so much. The period is finished now.